Yo Nation, what's going on with you guys, man? It's Killish Truth in the building, and today we are talking about what I like to call the fundamental flaw of For Honor's combat system. It's, in my opinion, this has always been in the game, and they've tried to do things to counteract it, but I feel that they've made steps in the right direction, but they're not taking that next step that needs to be made, or they're not being potent enough within the step that they've already taken. I should say that's the better thing I should say. And I feel that it's been in the game since season 1. It's just manifested itself over and over again up until this point, and it definitely has to do with the defensive meta, but not in the same sense of what a lot of people think. I definitely think they need to go in a route that they're already taking, but we'll talk about it in the video. But before we get started, I'd like to let you guys know that I will be doing a PS4 Fight Club this Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Eastern, PS4 Fight Club. Make sure you have those post notifications turned on. Subscribe to the channel if you want to join in on that. I know I put a lot of it in my community tab post, but someone told me not everyone gets to see that. Announce it in a video. I feel this video may get some views, so definitely PS4 Fight Club this Saturday. What's the date, y'all? What's the date going to be? It's going to be Saturday, August 18th. And if we have a big turnout for this one, I'll start doing them every weekend. Fuck it, I'll start doing them every Saturday on 4 p.m. Eastern, PS4 Fight Club. Make sure to hop in, join the family, get some fights in, you know what I mean? But without further ado, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the video, man. Let's get to it. All right, y'all, so before we break this shit down to the fundamental level, let's talk about Warden for a minute. So, all right, y'all, so anyone who's played For Honor in the last few weeks have had to take notice on the amount of Wardens that we see in the game. And you know, this shit makes sense because Warden was just reworked with the release of Season 7, so it's natural that he'll be one of the most played heroes in the game, right? But using that same logic, the other Season 7 rework Valkyrie will be just as prevalent, but that simply isn't the case in my personal experience. I can only speak for myself, you know what I mean? So we can chop this shit up as Warden being a more popular hero, which I do believe he is, like maybe, but with the amount of high rep players switching over to Warden, my guess would be that Warden is the better rework out of the two, and this would explain why we see so many Wardens in Ranked. But Ranked is also filled with a lot of Conquerors, and if you look at the tier list of a lot of guys, like you'll see that both of these heroes are now in S tier, and we place them there for a reason. Their playstyles fit Ranked so well. Both are able to play very defensively while also maintain their defensive breaking offense using unblockable bashes. It's like a perfect fucking storm. Like these playstyles, you're able to guard break those who attempt to dodge your bash with max punish and train them not to dodge. Like, and to make it short, in order to beat these heroes, you have to play well beyond their skill level. Like there is no equal skill. Like you're gonna probably lose going against these heroes. Like you have to react to their mix-ups while they could simply opt out of yours. And part of this is because parrying anything outside of an unblockable finisher isn't necessary, and it'll leave you vulnerable for punish if you do it. So why the hell would you do it? Like you don't have to parry heavies, you don't have to parry lights, you have to defend and you have to use your bash, and you can win games. Like, and surely dodging attacks is out of the damn question. Who the hell is gonna dodge when you don't have to? Like why would you? They opt out of all of it. They can just choose to block, choose to just defend, and use their bash to get damages and ultimately get wins. And this leaves many heroes without a neutral bash in an uphill battle against those with great ones. Like no other mechanic in the game breaks down defense like a bash that guarantees damage. And I believe this is because bashes only have one counter, whereas attacking has multiple counters. You can parry, you could deflect, you can use all guard, you can simply block, you could dodge. It's so many things that attacking has a counter, like that counters attacking, you know what I mean? Whereas bashes only have one counter, and that's dodging. That right there is what I believe the fundamental flaw of the game. That's the fundamental flaw of the game at its current point. It's not just bashing, it's great defense with unblockable bashing. You understand what I'm saying? That is like the #1 issue. What I feel is the issue with the game. And my change, ultimately, I'm going on a tangent here, but more or less my ultimate change would be to transform blocking not into just blocking, but blocking is only temporary in the sense that you're taking extra chip. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going completely off the script, y'all. I'm sorry, fuck it. But ultimately, I would like to see up of the chip, because currently, looking at my notes here, we have chip at 18% of our overall heavy attack. So let's look at Raider, for instance. If Raider hits you for a 40 damage side heavy, that's only going to amount to 7 damage. In its current state, it's taking 18% of that. So what if that value was raised to something like 30% of the total attack? What you will have is a Raider side heavy doing 12 damage. That's damn near a light attack. I think Raider does 15 on a light attack. That's 12 damage. So what you have is heroes such as Lawbringer, Raider, Shigoki, Aramusha. They will thrive in this environment. Like their chip damage alone will be able to contend with those with bash mix-ups in some light, you know what I mean? Leading to a playstyle that forces both players to make judgment calls and attempt to parry and dodge, which in turn leaves both players open to counters and mix-ups as it should be. Currently, things such as like parrying isn't even necessary. Why the hell would you parry a heavy when you don't need to? But in this system, if you're taking 12 damage per blocked heavy from a Raider, eventually it's going to reach a point where you have to parry. You're going to have to parry on that 6 or 7 because you're taking too much damage. So it's going to force you to make judgment calls. It's going to force you to try to parry, and once you start to parry, that's going to leave you open for counter. It's going to leave you open for guard breaks. That's going to leave you open for crushing counter. It's going to leave you open for deflect. It's going to leave you open for all of these different things. Hidden stance, I got down, all guards. All of these things that will become necessary to your defense. Defense in this game would transform into a counter system more than a block system as it stands now. Blocking would still be possible, it just wouldn't be optimal. Blocking wouldn't be optimal, and this is personally what I would love to see the game turn into. Like, and I'm gonna keep this short. Like I just like to summarize like my first point. I feel the fundamental flaw of For Honor at its current point is that defense along with an unblockable bash is a flawless or damn near purely optimal way of playing. Choosing to opt out of parrying, choosing to opt out of countering should not be a long-term thing in a fight. I feel in the beginning of a fight, you could test your opponent out and you could try these things, but in these long, like 3-minute, 4-minute fights, simply opting out of parrying should not be an option. It should become a battle of wit and become a battle of mix-ups and a battle of reading your opponent. And currently, as it stands, conquerors, wardens, warlords in some cases, they don't have to do this. They don't have to worry about it because they have to keep their defense up, choose to opt out of everything outside of an unblockable opener, and they can simply use their bashes. And in some cases, these unblockable openers, these unblockable finishers aren't even that you could see them like at high level. You can see them if you're locked in focus. Like, there are games where I can just see when someone's throwing an attack, and I know if I can see it as like a, what am I, fucking Diamond 2, I know these masters and these grandmasters can see the shit. Hell, I know these platinum dudes. I know maybe at a lower level there you might get kind of boggled up, but with experience, with like a veteran player, you can see these unblockables coming through, and you know when they're feigning it, and you know when they're going for the guard break, but you know when they're letting it fly. You could just see the animation. So ultimately, between that, I just feel that heavy chip should actually have some weight to it. Choosing to just not parry, choosing to not counter. So many of our heroes in this game have the perfect mechanisms for purely countering. You have deflects, like I said, deflects, all guards. You have hidden stance, Nabushi. You have so many things, crushing counters, Warden, Highlander. You have so many options, you guys, to counter, but you don't have to use them because you can just block it. And I feel that needs to change. That you shouldn't be able just to block attacks like for the entire game. And I feel that's the fundamental flaw of For Honor, that blocking is simply too easy, or it's too optimal to block. Blocking should be dangerous. It should eventually wear you down, and I don't want to say it should wear you down on stamina, and I'm not saying that chip should kill you. That's for another day, another discussion, but I think chip should be something that you have to worry about over time in these fights, in these close fights. And once you start chipping these dudes down who are choosing to opt out of actual countering, they're going to be forced to counter. And when they're forced to counter, they're going to make mistakes. Or if you put them in a corner, they're going to start to try to hurry up and get their damage in. They're going to make mistakes. You're going to leave them open for counter. And that's it, you guys. Damn, this video running quick, but that's the gist. I completely went off my script. I had a full script in front of my fucking face right here, but I completely went off of it. What else? Let me look at it really fast. Fuck it. I'm sorry, man. I just went completely off script. Now what I will say is some of these potential changes up in the chip damage in this game could be problematic in 4s, as this game mode has gear stats as well as 4v4 doesn't really have a turtle issue that duel and even maybe brawls. In some cases, I know in brawl you can just start ganking the other player, so turtling just isn't really a thing. So of course it would be dope to actually see Ubisoft implement their test server that they have to include the new perk system that we're going to be getting with Marching Fire, as well as maybe like some changes of something of this nature to see how it works. I'm not saying this in particular, this is just an idea that I have, what I feel what the fundamental flaw of For Honor is as far as the fighting system. Maybe they can implement something different that they're working on, that they're cooking up, or maybe they can implement something similar to this, who knows. But I really do think that the test server should be used on all platforms, especially console. They need to show console some love. Get a test platform for console so we can see these changes on Xbox One, PS4. I know PC is easier, but I feel that console needs to get some love too, you feel me? They need to implement these things on console so we can see it on the console environment, so when they make the full changes to the live server, it doesn't just leave them fucking hanging as usual. Console needs to get some damn love, and it's annoying to see it in my comment section, like console gets no love, and I really want to see them get love because they deserve it. They have more of them play the game than the damn PC. And I feel that the test servers need to come to console. So it's only right that if you're gonna bring it to all platforms, so all platforms can see how the potential changes of their game. You call it word For Honor, don't leave them out, don't leave them hanging in the mud, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, I'm on another tangent. That's how I feel. That's what I feel the fundamental flaw of the game is. You don't have to opt into countering. You can simply choose to block, and you can choose to use your bash to win. You could choose, even I could say unblockables. You can use an unblockable to win. You could choose to opt out of countering. That's what I feel the issue is. They need to increase the chip, force you to actually counter regular attacks. It'll increase the neutral game. It'll open people up for mistakes. It'll open people up for better reads. It will open these turtles up for counter, where you can actually get some damage in without using an unblockable bash, or hell, even an unblockable. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section on this. Once again, my name is Illest Truth. If you guys do enjoy the content, enjoy the videos, make sure to smash the like button, drop comments, turn on post notifications, subscribe if you new, all that good shit. And yeah, man, we'll definitely catch you guys in the next video, man. I'm sorry I went off script. If I left something out, I'm sorry. I'm sure something that you a counter point that you have, I have it written down somewhere in here, and I thought about this long and hard. It's just I fucked around and went off script, y'all. I'm sorry, but I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next video, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace to the world, peace to the earth. We are out, ladies and gentlemen. That's a wrap. Peace, y'all.